Welcome back to this week's Real Country File. I'm a little tired because I've been driving from John O'Groats to Land's End on a combine. Got a little bit of that later because Rob has filmed some of that while we were down in Cornwall. Anyway, this week Stephen's going to go to a visit farm in Lancashire, talk about most effective use of water management, and Angela catches up with David Exwood, who's Deputy President of the NFU at the Staffordshire Show. Yeah, these are the sunflowers anyway. So they are, 18 inches tall perhaps now. Growing well, loving the sunshine, and actually standing up pretty well considering we've had such a dry April and May. We really need some rain for the wheat though to kick it on a bit, and hopefully the grains fill out. Anyway, let's go see what Stephen's been up to talking of water.
I'm interested again. You're very active on social media.
Yeah.
You know, some may say a very strong opinion on certain things, but I noticed with interest driving around, and you were talking about what happens with the water off your farm and just how much you've invested to the point when it leaves you. Just explain a little bit about the infrastructure that you've created here on the farm.
Well, just on water, for example, trials I did with hydroponics have really shown the difference between tap water and rainfall. Here, it may be different elsewhere, but for us, it made a massive difference to crop growth. So that I know that's important. So the shed roofs are great for collecting water. So the water is collected off the shed roofs. The first point of call is our reservoirs they're there to keep the water that we need, primarily for plant watering, but also for power washing and stuff like that. So that the water goes there first. After that, it goes down. If that's full, then it goes to a pond. And that pond it was cleaned out 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and that's thriving. That re-established itself remarkably quickly. When that pond is full, it overflows into a pipe that takes it down to where we had to drive down to a ditch. That ditch is now, I've slobbed it out twice, so it has to run, but we don't do it annually. So in the bottom of that there's lots of grass and willows growing and also self-seeding, but also there's wild watercress growing, which is meant to only be able to grow in like pristine chalk streams, but it's growing in a ditch in Escombe Bank. So that suggests the water is clean once it's been through that stage. Goes down there. We've put in the process of digging out, just making pools and settlement ponds in an existing ditch, but widening it out and deepening it in pools, in lagoons, so that water goes all the way along there. So if this one's full, it overflows into the next. If that one's full, it overflows into the next. And finally, if that one's full, at that point it goes into a ditch that then exits to the river.
So the water's it's managed all the way through your property, and it's kind of cleansed as well. It's
as clean as it. I mean, we have no inputs on here, and nominal inputs which are just placed on plants. Again, the hydroponic stuff really helps with targeting nutrients to what you're trying to grow. But rainfall as well as the shed roof, all that is clean before it leaves this property, as clean as I can get it before it leaves the property.
It doesn't get to the sea's not far from here either.
No, it's not.
But it doesn't get
to
when
the sea. It goes out at the boatyard in Escombe Bank, which is just a few 100 yards away. It then goes round a bit of a bend, and then United Utilities empty raw sewage on top of the water that I've spent all that time and money cleaning.
So that's one of the discharge points that we've been hearing so much about in the news. That's kind of What can you do?
No, but I'm not being paid to clean my water, and I am paying United Utilities to clean their water.
And on that point, I think I think we're going to hear a bit more from you because, like I said, you've got some very forthright views on a lot of things that I think a lot of farmers and landowners and small farms will agree with you on over the next, a few months. We might get you on the camera and have a bit of a...
Well, I'm on the margins of farming now.
Yeah.
I'm not producing food. It's a different thing. There won't be many, but you can take a step back and see all sides of what's happening. And some of it is the lack of, you can see on the horizon that things aren't going perhaps how they need to be going. And I feel like, we've been a canary in the coal mine. It's not a moan, it's an observation. Taking a step back, doing what we can do I'm happy. It's working at the moment, and we can always go and do more if circumstances change. But I think others are still hoping for the best, and that good year is a long way off.
Well, thanks for the interview today. I hope we get plenty more from you. Welcome to the team here at the Real Country File, and I look forward for your
the next round.
your observations. I was going to say thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Stephen. Now, if you've got any experience with water companies, good or bad, let us know in the comments. Anyway, off now to see Angela at the Staffordshire County Show, where she's catching up with David Exwood from the NFU.
It's the Staffordshire Show today, so I'm going to have a look round and see what agricultural products there are for sale, and also take a look at the cattle that are being showed in the ring today as well. Staffordshire Show. I'm here with David Exwood, who's with the NFU and your vice president. So you've got the NFU has got a trade stand here at the show. What's been the general discussions or things that you've been talking to about farmers today?
So in Staffordshire, definitely HS2, everything that's going on about that, and just the immoral way that farmers are being treated as the phase 2 goes across the county. Really difficult stories. And then it's all about food and food security. They saw the number 10 summit. What does it mean for them? What's the reaction to it? What's come out of it?
Right, okay. And sort of generally, are there any major issues that the NFU is looking at from a national point of view at the moment at all?
So it's definitely, in the food security bit, it's about fairness in the supply chain. The returns that farmers are getting, everybody's looking at the cost of food, and the cost of food in the shops and what that means, and affordability, absolutely. But we have some of the most affordable food in the world. So we're saying, well, hang on a minute, what about the returns to the farmers? Because commodity prices are all over the place. So how do you give confidence to a farmer? How do you give them the confidence to keep producing food, which we want them to do?
Yeah, absolutely. And so for the people watching the video, is there any particular message or thing that you would like to say, or they can help the NFU generally in terms of giving information in any way at all? Or
so I think things going on at the moment is I think we'd like them to look at SFRs. That's been launched. There's a lot of new things coming. So Elms is developing and coming. So just look at it, what it means for your business. Look at your cost of production. Look at your carbon footprint. Just really understand your business and where it needs to go in the future. Commodity prices are all over the place, and it's really difficult to know whether you're profitable or not. To use to measure your farm, understand your farm, and understand how it might change in the future.
That's it, and get as much information and support as you can. And obviously, any local NFU rep is there for the purpose of giving farmers support, so make the most of it.
Absolutely, we're here to represent their views, we're here to give them good advice and support. Please engage and work together. We work together as an industry best of all, and the NFU is the best place to do that.
Well, let's hope you have a great couple of days here at the show, and lots of communication going on between farmers as well.
It's been really busy, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. So I've just come now to the Young Farmers section and the office of the county for the Staffordshire Young Farmers at the County Show. I'm going to have a chat to Danny and Charles just about what it's like to be a young person in agriculture these days. Right, so guys, so first of all, just give us a flavour of what kind of farming it is that you do and whereabouts you're based.
I'm based other side of Exwood, Standon, on a dairy farm, milking 300, and I'm self-employed contractor, so I do bits and bobs of everything really. So yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
I'm Danny, and I work on a dairy farm as well with 350 cows, and my role is herdsman, so do mostly cow work and occasional tractoring work.
So obviously, you're starting out as young people in agriculture. How confident are you about the future of the industry and the long-term options for you as a career?
The long term is probably a bit worrying due to being a dairy farmer, the milk price fluctuates that much, and with the recent corn prices and fertiliser prices just pushing everything up, it does make it worrying.
So it's very hard to know what the future is at the moment. It's just it's very difficult with prices of everything varying, month to month. It's very hard to see what's coming in the future really.
Have you had any sort of interaction with the general public? Obviously today it's the Staffordshire Show. How do you feel that farmers are viewed by the general public, and are you getting any feedback today generally?
I think at places like this, they always have that respect for farmers because they tend to know what they do and what they're producing for the public. Where I work, one of their family came from Liverpool, and they came and had a little look around the farm, and the one girl come in the parlour and goes, "Oh, the cows aren't kept in here all the time, they get to go out, they get to walk around." And she just had no clue about any of that really. So it did just educate, or help to educate anyway. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, from a young farmer's point of view, is there anything that the group as a whole could do to educate more people that aren't really understanding how farming works, do you think?
I mean, social media is quite a good. I mean, all the young farmer groups have got their own social media, and that gets shared around quite a lot. It does spread a good word about, and we're always inviting for people that are not, farming. They're not into farming, or they don't farm at all. Young farmers for everyone. So when they come in and they do learn a lot more about it. So yeah.
Is there any sort of support that you think you would like to see coming forward that isn't already here, either from the government or NFU or any other kind of overseeing body that would really help? Or is there anything that's kind of hindering the agricultural industry from those sides of things, do you think, at the moment?
I think it's just down to education really at the end of the day, like in schools and primary schools, secondary schools, just that level of education, just to show people, or just to make them think at the very least about what we do. And
just to sort of appreciate how critical farmers are to the running of everything across the country, because without any food then we can't function. That's it. And how important has young farmers been in your life so far in terms of being able to sort of meet up with other people, bearing in mind that you've got potentially quite isolating jobs really?
It definitely opens up. It's a very social thing. The young farmers, you meet lots of new people.
Excellent. Well, I'll leave you to get back to your posts at the showground and being as good ambassadors as you can, and hopefully you'll get some new members signed up today as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
We've just moved over to the sheep shearing section of the showgrounds now, so the competition is passing up for who's going to be the fastest.
Continue shearing. Competition is shearing on on Saturday, Friday, Saturday. Who's the very top up next? James Roller and Jack France have got 4 out on the board already. Odshan Lewis then finishing touches to 3. Liam Tinney finishing touches to 3. But it's Jack France who skips up the net ahead of the rest of the field there on stand number 4.
Thanks for that, Angela. Now, over to Rob from Blackdown Farm Services, who caught up with me this week while we were doing the 940-mile journey on the combine from John O'Groats to Land's End.
Hello everyone, so here we are on the side of the A303, just between Marsh and Honiton, waiting for Olly and the boys on the combine challenge, James, Martin and John. Waiting for them to come up the hill now. I think they're not that far away. Obviously they're driving from John O'Groats to Land's End in a Class Lexion 8700, Olly's brand new combine, to raise awareness for mental health and raising money for mind and children's cancer. So below we'll do the link to the Just Giving page. I think they're up to about 25 grand already, but any donations I'm sure they'll appreciate. So hopefully they'll be here any second and we'll see them then. Here they are then, fair way into their journey now, not long to go. Don't know what they must be, 700 miles in. Here she is then, all the way from John O'Groats. So here we are, just outside of Honiton, catching up with Olly, James, Martin and John. Hashtag Combine Challenge, driving from John O'Groats to Land's End with this Lexion 8700. They've obviously only got a little bit left to go now from Honiton down to Land's End, bit today, bit tomorrow. But they've broken the back of it of 700 odd miles from John O'Groats already. So we're going to have a chat with them and see how they're getting on. So here we are at Otter Valley, just on the side of the 303 outside of Honiton, and we've caught up with Olly the Bob Harrison and his team, John, James and Martin. They're just holding up the tracks ready for the next run, which I think is on the bottom now, isn't it? Yeah, so I think we're 40 miles. About 65. 65, alright. Yeah, not on the way. Yeah, but got a nice street from here now, thanks to that Johnson place down. I'm in this way. Yeah, but how's Olly doing? You going alright? Yeah, I mean, our only concern was tracks overheated, but obviously it's doing a lot of road work on rubber and tarmac. As long as we keep the top on, it's fine. Yeah. So, how many miles are we down now? 7, yeah, no more than that. Yeah. 767. No, 770. 770. Yeah, so not long to go. I think it's about 900. Yeah. So by the end of the day, we've only got a short leg. I think it's been fantastic to see you doing. Great charities, and the answer is fantastic. It's so easy, isn't it? You know? I don't think many people will not know somebody who's struggled with it. They have struggled with that. So there's 85% of people, and I'd say with the 50% of mine. Yeah, thanks everybody one way or another, whether it's them or whether it's somebody else. So it's important to keep talking and that 100% and whatever else. So yeah, so we'll get to you, Olly. Yeah, thanks for the say. Thanks, Johnny, the rest of the way. Yeah, see you again. And they're off, leaving Otter Valley outside of Honiton on the way to Launceston now for a stopover, and then last little bit to Land's End tomorrow. Well done, chaps, keep up the good work, safe travels.
thanks for that, Rob. It was great to catch up with a few people along the way. Laybys were littered with people. It was absolutely amazing experience. The combine now is on display at the Cereals Show, so it will be there Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. Now, the Real Country File is going to fortnightly now, mainly because of time commitments from us all. We did think that we might have been able to get a few more people to do some roving reporting, but it's just difficult, really. Everyone seems to be busy. Anyway, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, it'd be great if you click like, and we will see you all in a few weeks.